When collecting chests in Sandrock, you can put in a couple of skill points on the skill tree. Level 1, very handy. Treasure chests will show up on the map. But they only show up if you're nearby to them. So as you can see, I've got nothing showing up. That's because I've collected all the ones which were nearby when I did that. You will see them come up later in the video. And a small amount of goals, a small amount of chance of getting a large amount of goals. So, let's start with the obvious one, which is in the Commerce Guild. It's the first building you go into in the game, and it's clearly just a training chest. It's up here on the first floor, or second floor if you're American. One goal. And don't forget, you can always chop a chest with your axe. The Moon Saloon, just over the road from the Commerce Guild. Let's pop into the kitchen, and the chest is just there on the left. Don't be like me and keep forgetting that it's the axe, not the pick hammer. Back with the Blue Moon. Another very simple one, you just go onto the balcony of the Blue Moon. There's your chest. Axe, axe. Then if we pop round the back of Pablo's salon, there's one in the little alleyway. And you can see there's a couple of little chests have shown up, and that one is hiding on that little bridge. So how do we get there? Well, I tried up there, but there's no way onto it from there, so I came back to Pablo's salon and decided that the easiest thing to do was to climb onto the roof, check that I'm above it, and then just drop down. Sometimes takes a couple of swipes before the game targets a chest. Staying with Pablo's salon, and indeed the roof thereof, there's a tricky one. If you press shift while you jump, or run, whichever the control is, you can make that jump. This one is shown, but there's nothing on the ground, look. Took me a while to spot it, because it doesn't have to be at ground height, as we've seen. I was wondering if I could get onto a ledge, but just needed to hop over it, open the chest. The chest falls down, but that's okay, we can just jump down and chop it. Right, temple and environs. Very easy one at the temple. I think that used to be covered in sand in previous versions. Other side of the temple now, and we're going to climb onto the roof of this building in order to get up into the archway. Drop down to the second level on the archway, and the chest is just inside. And since we're around that neighbourhood, let's pick up the one at the what do you call a horse garage? I'm going to call it a horse garage. So staying in the square now, we've got Construction Junction. This shop here, which you'll use extensively in the mid to late game, but not so much in the early game. Just pop up the stairs, and next to the picture of the sobbing girl is our chest. And if the game doesn't target it, we've probably forgotten to use the axe again. Back outside to the same starting point, right next door, City Hall. Up to the upstairs floor, open the chest, water +5. Pretty useful early game. Talking of water, let's hit the water tower, and there's a little entrance just down here. Jump onto the ledge and press E. Even if the game doesn't show you your interactions, you're still making them. And I had to come back later for that. The train station. There it is. Just inside and to the right. The farm shop. Now that chest looks like it's to the right of the farm shop, and it's not inside. Spent ages looking inside. You have to jump up from the other side of the roof and just run down. We're now opposite the research centre. You can get onto this rooftop just from the street behind it. That street up to the temple. And there's a chest on that roof. If all else fails, walk away from the chest and go back again. Temple again. Jumping down from the roof from the temple. You can also just go up from the street. This is above the, not crockery, the place that makes pots. Close to home now. That's my farm, you can see in the background there, so very close to home. It's just on this little set of rocks. I've actually come up a little bit too high here. Drop down once, and feather duster. You need the feather duster to clear some chests, so it's a pain, but just keep one on you all game, because you are going to find so many uses for it. And just to the west of that, there's a little bridge. And underneath the bridge, again, feather duster is needed. Staying in the desert for the moment, we're going past the fish pond there. Round the corner. Up to this collection of rocks. Jump through the gap. Do the little feather duster. And Bob's your uncle. When you look at the pictures online, in the help and the wikis, you'll see a chest just by a wall. It's due east of the fishing station, which is exactly where I was, but I think an update to the game added those rocks because there's a mission surrounding them. It is the chest, and it is the correct loot from the chest. Okay, the moisture farm. Everybody loves the moisture farm. Great looking building. You just have to run down the wingtip to the very end. And there's your chest. Look at that view, isn't that gorgeous? Really do like the graphics in this game. Wonderful. Staying at the moisture farm, there's the wing we just ran up. There's a little bush growing just behind it. This is the most hidden, I think, of the chests in the early game. If I cut down that, we can see it better. Some chests are hidden like above where you are, but that one is like deliberately obscured by a bush. So, back up by the temple, there's a little road you can run, not a little road, but a little area you can access here just by jumping all the way up. Run to the top. Another spectacular view and a chest. Okay, you don't get access to Paradise Lost until the early mid-game, so this is a minor spoiler, but you can see pretty much everything from the top, so I'm not that bothered about it. The rest of the chests do contain a moderate mid-game spoiler, but it's only a weapon, so I'm not going to be too bothered about describing them, but you can shut off now if you want. Feather duster. And this one drove me mad. You can see, if you look at the map, that I'm right on top of where a chest should be. And I've been through every room in this apartment building below me. It's not in there. I can guarantee it's not in there. It's not on the roof. Where is it? Ah, it's there. This is when you're going to need, I don't know if the pistol works, but I just equip the rifle. So just equip the rifle and boom. And now we can go pick it up. Decent bit of kit, but you can't get it until you've got a firearm. Down by the research centre, meanwhile, we've got a couple more danglers. One just there. And you don't even have to move if you're a good enough shot. Just pluck the other one and open them both. There are quite a lot of other chests in other areas of the game. All I've covered is the stuff you have access to in the early game and early mid-game, like Paradise Lost, and you have to have a firearm, which I think comes fairly early.